Hello, I'm Harvey Schulman. I'm a solicitor with Visa Kings Global, and today I'd like to look at one particular aspect of the Innovator visa, and that is looking at endorsement criteria that have to be met if you are going to achieve settlement in the UK after a 3-year period. I would preface what I say by recognising that the whole Innovator visa procedure is unknown, in the sense that in practice we don't have the experience and practical day-to-day knowledge of how the Home Office will work in practice in looking at individual visas and how they have been honoured. But the guidance that has been issued by the Home Office does give us some very useful clues as to what needs to be done. And in order to get settlement, you have to show, in relation to your business, which for the purpose of this talk has got you the endorsement and the visa you wanted, you've got to show that in respect of that business you have made quantifiable achievements. Now, the definition of quantifiable is not certain because there is no specific definition given, but using common sense, it must be measurable and it must be put forward in a way that the expert validating panel can be satisfied that you've met the test. And in looking at achievements, there are 7 achievements that are listed. So if we take those as the key items to be regarded, what exactly are they? And how difficult is it to meet them? Well, the first test is that at least £50,000 has been invested in your business, and that it's been actively spent. So the use of the word actively implies some serious intent and some genuine business being done. And the spending has to be in relation to furthering your business plan, not in relation to anything else. It looks like that particular test will not be too difficult to comply with. The next one is a little bit more tricky to understand, and that is that the number of your business's customers have at least doubled within the most recent 3 years and is currently higher than the mean number of customers for other UK businesses offering comparable products or services. That's useful in guiding us that in terms of getting your visa in the first place, your innovative plan could either be for a product or for a service. So that's helpful in that regard. But trying to work out whether you've doubled your customers may not be easy, because customers come and go. At what baseline do you start from, and how exactly do you work out what is the mean number of customers that other UK businesses have got that are comparable to yours? Maybe because you're so innovative there is no obvious comparable business. So that seems to me to be something quite difficult to understand. The next item, the third, is that you have engaged in significant research and development activity, and you've also applied for intellectual property protection in the UK, which basically means that you've made an application for a patent. Now, clearly that is going to cut off a considerable number of companies, and clearly it's aimed at the really high-tech companies who are involved in research and development. But this Innovator visa is not limited to such people, and therefore there'll be quite a large swathe of companies where this may not be relevant. The next item, the next of the 7 tests, is that your business has generated a minimum annual gross turnover of £1 million in the last full year covered by your accounts. That actually is quite tough going, because to sell £1 million of anything or to deliver £1 million of services implies quite a significant effort. So I regard that as being quite tough. The next one is that your business is generating a minimum annual gross revenue of £500,000 in the last full year, and at least 100,000 of that is going on exports. So if you're an exporting business, you seem to be given a slightly less demanding test, and that seems more manageable. The last 2 of the 7 tests relate to job creation. The first one says that you have created the equivalent of at least 10 full-time jobs for resident workers. In this talk, I'm not going to examine what a resident worker means. I'm not going to look at what a job means, but simply note that basically, if you can employ people that can cover 10 jobs for 1 year, then you may meet this test. And the last item is that you've created at least 5 full-time jobs in the business for resident workers, and there's an average salary over these 5 people of £25,000 excluding expenses. So that's another way of looking at it. In the category of 10 jobs, it is possible to combine more than one person within the carrying out of a job. So you could have a chef in the morning and a chef in the afternoon, although you'd have to be fairly bright to come up with an innovative idea in that particular sector. The 5 full-time jobs obviously is half as many, but the rate of pay must obviously be higher. And it could be that you will be able to satisfy 2 of those tests by having 10 workers, of whom 5 meet the average salary test. So those 2 could be combined with putting £50,000 into the business, and you have certainly met 3 achievements, and the requirement is that you only need to meet 2. So I hope that's been helpful, and that you will pay regard to these achievement targets when considering whether you should get the Innovator visa and whether at the end of the day you can meet its requirements. If you need any further help or guidance, the team at Visa Kings are always very pleased to hear from you. Thanks very much.